Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gratitude Tuesday. My name is Raina, and I am a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery. And today we're going to be talking about why gratitude is essential in recovery. This article is brought to us by ecosoberhouse.com, and it first starts out by asking, what is gratitude? So it says gratitude is a feeling or an attitude of being thankful and appreciating something given to you. It could be a tangible gift like money or clothes, or an intangible thing like care, attention, or love. When you feel grateful, you acknowledge that something good has been done for you, and this feeling makes you thankful and glad. It goes on to say grateful people are usually happy and contented. However, it does not mean you have everything you need. Instead, when you choose gratitude, you appreciate the things you have. So you do not need to accomplish all your goals to be grateful. Even in relapse, you can still be grateful and positive. And that's a really good way to look at this. It's not to focus on what we haven't done or can't do or having trouble doing, or to focus on the relapse. It's more about focusing on the progress that we have made. And when you first come into recovery, it talks about here, you may not have everything that you want, but you have everything that you need. And, it's about being grateful for those things. Because the more time you spend in recovery and the more work you do, the more you're going to obtain. But it's good to stay focused on the base things, the core of, the gratitude of just simple things. Be thankful that, be grateful that you're just clean. Be grateful that, you have a roof over your head. Be grateful that you have something to eat. Things that a lot of times we take for granted when we come into recovery. A lot of us didn't have those things when we were using. It was hard to find something to eat. We didn't have a roof over our heads. So we were homeless, or didn't have clean clothes or the ability to just take a shower. So focusing on those basic things that you may just take for granted is a great way to kind of start building gratitude in recovery. So again, it says, why is gratitude essential in recovery? So gratitude helps develop positive feelings like happiness, positive thinking, and motivation to do better. These feelings are essential for you if you're recovering from addiction. For instance, if your mindset is positive, you will have positive thoughts. Therefore, you'll be able to see the brighter side of things. You will also feel motivated, to handle a relapse or other challenges. And this is something that's very difficult for a lot of us to do in recovery, especially early on. We're so consumed by guilt and shame and fear and anger and all these things that are not positive, that it's very hard to kind of flip the perspective into more positive thinking. It takes practice. So don't get discouraged if, you're having positive thoughts and all of a sudden you slip back into that, either self-pity or, depression or what have you. But trying to keep that positive mindset makes it easier to continue going. It encourages you. You know what I mean? If you're like, okay, I am so grateful today that I woke up, I was able to eat breakfast, I was able to take a shower. You know what I mean? These simple things to start your day in that positive mode, it makes it easier as the day progresses. So it goes on to say that positive thinking helps to create good energy. Glass half full, not glass half empty type of thinking, right? When you're feeling good and you're positive, you're more energetic, you're more alive, you're just, more outgoing, all these different things. So it says this will make your relationship with people around you healthier. When you practice positive thinking, your mind will hold on to less negative thoughts like bitterness and guilt. Therefore, you will have less negative energy in and around you. Overall, your recovery journey would be much easier, and you just might have some fun along the way. So this kind of goes to the concept of, you attract what you put out. When we're using, everything is just dark and like depressing and hopeless and like not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And when that is your thinking and that's what you're putting out into the world, that's what you usually get back. But when you kind of flip things and you put like this positive vibe out there, you start to attract positivity, positive people, positive, actions, just all these different things that are going to help keep you going in a more positive light. I know that one of the hardest things for me to get over when I came into recovery was self-pity. And self-pity will keep you sick for a long time. We blame everyone else. Nothing's our fault. It's everything is hopeless at the end of the world. We make like these huge mountains out of molehills. When you're stuck in that self-pity, it's very, very hard for you to see anything except that negativity, anything except that darkness. So, as you try and, continue in recovery, it's important to take responsibility so you can stop feeling sorry for the things that have happened to you or the things that you have done, and take responsibility for your feelings and your actions to try and, flip these things into a more positive light. When I stopped, blaming everybody around me for the things that were happening to me, I was able to look at myself and say, you know what? I don't want to be like this. I don't want to do this. So it makes it easier for you to be able to move forward in a positive direction. So we're going to talk about the 5 benefits of gratitude for recovery. Come on in. Yeah, we actually have somebody come join us today. I'm so excited.
I know you can see me behind.
Yeah, you can sit right over there. So we are talking about why gratitude is essential in recovery.
Thank you.
And we are on the 5 benefits of gratitude for recovery. So number 1, it says it gives you happier emotions. Gratitude helps us to experience happy feelings and happy thoughts. When you appreciate the things you have and the people around you, it's hard to feel resentful or sad. So getting into the practice of being grateful will help you stay happy and content. This doesn't mean that you will not feel sad emotions at all. Instead, you will be able to handle challenges gracefully. In addition, gratitude helps you avoid nagging feelings of regret or shame. And that's what I was saying earlier, that regret and that shame are 2 things that will just keep you down. We have to start looking at the things that we've done in our past and the things that are holding us back and realize that those things are said and done. It's time to move forward and, and find some acceptance for those things in order to kind of like shed that weight and be able to progress in recovery. And like, again, when you appreciate those little things that you have, like I was stating earlier, like just being able to take a shower or being able to sleep in a warm bed or, being able to eat. When you appreciate those things, you'll find that those like resentful, angry feelings start to disappear. So instead of being just angry what we don't have and, why don't I have this yet? Or why is this person, still mad at me or whatever the case may be, we're able to look at the more positive and appreciate the things that we are having. And like it says, you're not going to be happy all the time. That's just not realistic in any situation. We are all going to have bad days. We might have a bad week. Like I'll have a whole week where I am just like, whatever. But it's okay. It's okay to feel those emotions. What you don't want to do is get stuck there. And having some gratitude is a great way to get unstuck from that sort of a thing. So go on to number 2. Number 2, gratitude improves your connection and relation with other people. When people go through alcohol or any addiction, it becomes challenging to keep up their relationships. This is because alcohol and other drugs make other things in life seem less relevant. So one of the steps in recovery is reconnecting with friends and loved ones. So that's very true. When you are in the grips of addiction, your whole focus is that. It's getting the next one. It's, trying to find the money to get the next one, or, whatever it is, it's all based around, that next one. And it makes it very difficult to have, to give your attention or your time to anything else. I remember, being in active addiction and still trying to be a good mom. I was still trying to show up. I was still trying to provide. I was still trying to be supportive of my kids. But at the same time, I was so distracted by the voice of addiction calling me that what I thought was me still being a present parent was not what a present parent should be. So, it's very hard to find focus on anything else. However, it's also, so the steps in recovery is reconnecting with friends and loved ones. Gratitude helps this process to be very meaningful. Communication is more manageable when you express your gratitude to your friends or lover. As a result, you will be a much happier person to be around, and you can enjoy the company of your friend. In the end, you will have more robust and loving relationships. And this was my primary focus because prior to my downfall in active addiction, my family and my friends were very, very important to me. I was very involved with my family, with my parents, with my children, with my significant other, with friends. We were always, doing something or having get-togethers with the kids. And, my kids were in dance and sports and music and all these things that were very important to me and that I had lost grip of. So when I came into recovery, it was very important for me to rebuild these relationships. And it can very much help with that because it's not so much about, okay, what can this person do for me? What can you give me? Because that's what we're worried about in active addiction is what can you do for me? And if you can't do anything for me, I don't have time for you. So coming into recovery, in trying to move that focus to not being about, okay, what can you do for me, but what time can I spend with you? What can we do together? What can I help you with? And rebuilding all these broken relationships and being able to communicate your gratitude and your feelings of any kind is very important in that. Because you have to be open and honest about where you are and what you're feeling if you expect any relationship to be able to grow. If you keep things hidden or, you just, brush it off, oh, I'm fine, whatever. A lot of times what's going to happen is those things are going to build up and then they're going to end up exploding. And that can be very detrimental in recovery, especially early on. So you want to kind of be in contact, be in communication, talk to your loved ones, tell them, look, I'm having a bad day, or, I think I need a little bit more support today, whatever it may be. To keep that open line of communication is going to go a very long way in helping rebuild loving relationships in recovery. So number 3, it improves your self-esteem. Feeling grateful for the things and people you have is an excellent way to improve your self-esteem. The trick is to pay more attention to the good things in your life. Doing this will boost your confidence and help you feel better about your everyday life. Even if your recovery does not go as quickly as you would like, gratitude will help you stay optimistic. So self-esteem, I'm sure, like a lot of you, is something that I still struggle with. And in the beginning, it was, the embarrassment, again, the guilt and the shame of everything, because here I was a homeowner. I was out on my own for years. And then I, come in recovery and I'm sleeping on my mom's couch. It was like, I felt less than, like, I didn't feel like I was good enough. You know what I mean? I was kind of embarrassed to admit that I was sleeping on my mom's couch. But at the end of the day, I still had my mom. I still had a roof and a shower and food. I still had the support of my family. So I had to kind of stop thinking about the fact that here I am, sleeping on my mother's couch, which I haven't lived with my mother since I was 16 years old, and focus on the fact that, you know what, I still have my mom. She still loves me. And it made things a lot easier. And at the same time, it also gave me the encouragement to keep moving forward. Because knowing that I don't want to burden my mom, you know what I mean, for an undisclosed amount of time, by sleeping on her couch. I want to give her the relief of, having her home back and knowing that I'm okay. So that gave me both, confidence and encouragement to keep going, to keep moving on. And then eventually, you know what I mean? I stayed with a friend for a while, and then I stayed, to help another family member. And now I own my own home. Things will progress if you don't stay stuck in the negative. If I stayed stuck, I'm like, oh my God, I'm on my mom's couch and and let it get to me more than it did, I could still be on my mom's couch. Or even worse, I could have relapsed because I'm like, I'll just do anything to get out of here. So it's important to look at what you have and to, let that fill your spirit instead of what you don't have, and letting that build your self-esteem to keep moving forward. So number 4, it helps you to improve your focus and reduce stress. If you were struggling with addiction, it could affect your focus at work, business, or home. It most definitely will affect your focus in all aspects of your life. But being grateful can help you put your thoughts into perspective. Instead of worrying and being haunted by shame, you can appreciate the good things in your life. It could be the fact that you have good health or supportive family, or hope that things can get better. Also, gratitude helps to reduce stress. Focusing on the essential things will prevent you from feeling overly anxious and overwhelmed. And stress can be a big downfall. It can be a downfall in recovery. It can be a downfall in your health, just your mental well-being. So, when you are dealing with things that are stressed or you are struggling, it's not only important to be grateful for what you have and try and focus on the positive, but it's also important to reach out. Reach out to those people that are still with you. Reach out to people that you have met in recovery. Any support system to help you through that, so you don't get, again, stuck. Because the fact of the matter is, you're going to hit stressful situations no matter what. That's just life. Not everything runs smoothly. It's about learning how to handle the stress and not letting it consume you or be your downfall. So if you have your family, you have friends, whatever the case may be, reach out, and try and find a connection with somebody that can walk you through it and help you through it. And improving focus really does it. When you're grateful, you are in the moment. You're not worried about what has happened. You're not worrying about what's going to happen. It keeps you focused and in the moment. So that way you're just not distracted by all these what ifs or could haves or anything else. And then number 5, it improves your physical health. Good emotional health is closely associated with physical health. So there are better chances that recovery treatments will work better when your mindset and thoughts are positive. Also, happy thoughts make for good sleep, and good sleep is necessary for good health. So if you find it hard to catch a good night's rest, you should try practicing gratitude. You can keep a mental note of the good things that happen during your day. Thinking about these things will help you feel thankful and bring you some satisfaction. In turn, you will feel better about your worries and go to bed with a clearer mind. Because honestly, how many of us lay our head down at night and go, why did I do that? What am I going to do? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. What about tomorrow? For me, at night, I still have trouble sleeping. And, trying to think like positive and looking over your day and finding the good that happened in it instead of the bad, or worrying about tomorrow now, is going to help you like improve your sleep and improve your health. And one of the things that we always recommend is, you can make a mental note like this states, but keep a gratitude journal. Just keep like a little journal next to your bed. When you lay down at night, you can write like 5 things that you're grateful for that day. Or instead of worrying about the next day, maybe a few things that you're looking forward to for the next day, to kind of give your brain a break and, put you in a more positive mental state, and it will help you improve your health. So the last part is how to stay grateful. So it says, be intentional about taking notice. You should consciously choose to always stay grateful. If you're not intentional about it, you could take good things for granted. So the first step is to choose to always be thankful for the blessings you have every day. Did someone tell you a good joke? Did you have help lifting your groceries? It could even be a moment of sharing someone else's happiness. These are things you must take note of and be grateful for. It's the little things. Just notice the little things. And, being conscious of those things, because being grateful does not come naturally for most of us, whether in active addiction recovery or just people in general. It's not something that just like we're born with. It's something that a lot of us have to learn, and that takes practice. So it's good to be mindful. Did somebody hold the door open for you today and you didn't say thank you? Like, just saying thank you keeps you in that positive mindset and the gratitude that it involves. And it could always be the big things too. You know what I mean? Like, I get like grateful for everything. Honestly, like I try and be that, because for a long time I didn't have that. Like for a long time I was in a very abusive relationship and there wasn't much to be grateful for. So in my current relationship, when it could be like the silliest thing, like, oh, thank you for vacuuming. Instead of just taking for granted that the other person vacuumed, like, thanks, I appreciate it, because now I don't have to do it. And it also shows that you appreciate that person. And one of the things I say, like, is I try and say, instead of, okay, I'm losing my train of thought now. Instead of saying, I appreciate that, I try and say, I appreciate you, because it takes away what the person did and it makes it more about them and the things like just their effort or, their support, and being grateful for that. And that's what this one talks, the next bullet point, appreciate and focus on the little things. One of the ways to keep practicing gratitude is to take notice of the beautiful parts of each day. It's easy to forget that some things are working out well when bad things happen to us. For instance, when addicts relapse and drink, they can become overwhelmed with feelings of shame and disappointment. Relapse can actually be a vital step in recovery. What you should do instead is to get back on track and be grateful for each day you stay sober. Doing this will help you appreciate every day of sobriety. So it can be very difficult to come back from a relapse, because that guilt and shame starts to set in again. However, you can come back into recovery, and you don't forget the things that you learn. So if you come to any of our meetings, if you go to 12 Step, if you do anything that's more spiritual based, those things stay with you. So you don't lose that. If you learn how to be grateful, you might slip into a relapse, but you don't forget how to do it. It's still with you. You just have to stand up, start again, and practice. It'll all come back to you. So be thankful for the time that you do have in recovery, or you did, if you are in a relapse right now or active addiction right now, that there's something else better out there. And try and hold on to that instead of, oh my God, I relapsed. because holding on to the idea that I know that there is a better way out makes it easier for you to get to that way out. So next one says, do good to people. Usually we feel good when we do good deeds for other people. So if you get an opportunity to help someone out, take it. Doing service to others will help you appreciate your ability to help. For example, a gesture such as holding the door open can make a big difference to someone else. Even if they don't say thank you, helping others will give you a sense of fulfillment and thankfulness. Yeah, and some people aren't going to be thankful. They're not going to be grateful that you held the door open. But you should take note that how it makes you feel. You know, doing something for someone else just for the sake of doing it. You know, not doing it because you want something or need something from it. It is a really great self-esteem booster as well. You know, being in recovery and a member of a 12-step fellowship, we are encouraged to give back what we have. So everything that I have learned, I now pass it along to the next person. So, you know, the saying, you can't keep what you have without giving it away. It's very important in the recovery world. And, you know, it's not just about, you know, sharing your story or, you know, being supportive of someone's struggle. It's also like important just everyday life. You know, letting people, or see, I hate when this happens. So it's the end of your own, like, all weekend long, I have been saying that my Wi-Fi in my head is lagging, so I apologize.
Just to reconnect.
So anyway, so, you know, doing good for someone else is a great way to help stay positive and to feel like you have a purpose for things. The next one is express gratitude to friends and family. Do you give compliments when people show you kindness? This is quite important because it prevents us from taking them for granted. Also, when we express gratitude to people around you, you will feel encouraged to do more. So again, it's just letting someone you know that you are thankful, that you appreciate them. You know what I mean? And let them know. You know, because you could sit here all day and like, oh, I so love my parents for doing this, or my family, or my friends, or this person, but let them know, because it's going to boost them as well. And knowing, like, for me, when I see somebody happy because of either something I encouraged or a compliment I gave them or something that I did for them or helped them with, it makes me feel good. You know, I love seeing other people's happiness. So, because it's contagious. You know what I mean? Like, I watch their smile and it makes me smile. So it's a great way to connect with people. And the last one is keep up with things or people who motivate you. The building or joining a community is an easy way to helps you stay consistent. Since the goal is to appreciate things around you, you should engage in exciting activities. For example, you can spend time catching up with shows you love or people who share your interests. Engaging in these activities will help you put things in perspective while thinking happy thoughts. And that's great. Hobbies, get-togethers, if you know, volunteer work, any of these things are a great way to boost the positivity in your life. Like the giving back again. You know, and a lot of people think that you come into recovery and it's, you know, you need the drugs or the alcohol to have fun, and it's not true. You can have so much fun in recovery. A lot of the 12-step fellowships, we do activities, we have like banquets and, you know, just all these things, like go to the boardwalk, movie nights, like all these fun things to be around other people in recovery to help you boost your self-esteem and that like morale of just, you know, like gratitude all around you. You know, we do things here. We just had a day last Friday about, you know, just celebrating Recovery Month and bringing everybody in. We had the ice cream truck and all these things just to like get involved with the community, just pass along that positivity to like everyone around you. So in closing, it says, indeed, recovery can be challenging if you do not have the right resources around you. These include friends, family, and community of people committed to your treatment. Goes on to talk about their program. So if you're experiencing addiction or know someone who is, please feel free to reach out. So, having the right resources and the right support is great. If you are someone who is in active addiction or in recovery and doesn't have resources or doesn't have the support of a family or just wants extra support, come in and see us. That's what we're here for. We have, the meetings that you can come in and take part in. You can just come in and sit and talk to us. Like if you need to get something off your chest or whatever it may be, come in, have a cup of coffee, just hang out with us, because it's very important to stay around other people that are, doing the right thing and to help you keep positive. That's what we're here for. So again, my name is Raina. I am a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery. Thank you for joining me today for Gratitude Tuesday, and you all have a wonderful day.